Welcome to the DMM system. This presentation is designed to give you an introduction into the new CNH screen being developed for the DMM system to display maintenance plans to shop floor operators. This screen is being designed for presentation on Windows PCs or Windows tablets. The general premise behind this screen was for it to remain basically consistent with the work that has gone into the HMI interface. However, where appropriate, we have made slight modifications to look and feel and functionally improved the interface to make it much easier for the user. The starting point for this presentation is going to be in the machine master. Not many changes are necessary in order to make the new screen work. If we look at the setup using Wichita data, I currently have two work centers set up to be displayed on the single interface. Work Center 310 and Work Center 105. And if we look at DMM shop floor security, this is where we define which PCs or tablets will display the associated work centers. This remains pretty much consistent with everything that's been implemented to date. The one point I would like to note is that when using the screen on a Windows PC or a Windows tablet, we will always use the computer name in Windows Security. So as you can see on this interface, we have my PC set up for the Weld Robot 310 and additionally for the Weld Robot 105 as an alternate. This means that the maintenance plan screen will have two tabs on it, one for 105 and another tab for 310. So let's take a look at the new screen. If we log on as the Weld Robot 310 in the DMM system, this is how the new screen looks. It's going to be fairly consistent with the existing HMI screen. Again, there are some subtle visual changes and quite dramatic changes with regards to features and functionality. The screen is really divided into three main regions. We have a taskbar along the top, which allows the operator to perform global type activities, such as reporting a manual scrap entry, reporting a manual rework entry, recording a manual activity log entry, which is different than a downtime event that is automatically triggered by monitoring PLC data, and also a way to exit the screen and quit the system. The main region of the screen is the tabbed interface, and as you can see, we have two tabs as I indicated in the Machine Master, one for Work Center 105 and one for Work Center 310. Each tab will display the three regions that you're currently used to. The left region will be the Work Center metrics. The middle region will be the AM calendar tasks appropriate to that work center and the shift. And the right region will be for the current downtime events that have not been acknowledged. Each of the task and downtime regions may be scrolled by clicking the up or down arrows respectively. The final area is a legend along the bottom. The legend is designed to communicate to the operator what the icons represent. As you can see under the calendar tasks, we have a caution sign for the PH check. The caution sign is telling the operator that this task is currently past due. If the task was started, you would see a clock next to it. On the downtime events, you will have two types of icons: the information icon or the alarm icon. The information icon represents machine inactivity. It is basically downtime on the machine, not due to a fault. The alarm is downtime on the machine specific to a fault that occurred and was registered through the PLC. If we take a look at the middle region on the calendar tasks, you will notice that if we change the tabs, the screen will update all of the regions. But as you can see in the center calendar task region, the tasks for work on the 310 are now displayed. Additionally, the downtime events have been updated along with the work center metrics. The functionality for the tasks and the downtime events have remained consistent with the work performed to date. So for example, if we click on this first task, clean side A positioner, the screen will change and it will present the operator with the list of events that they must perform. In this case, there are 3 choice list events with the description of the event and what the choice list options are. Additionally, if any documents or SOPs are linked to this event, they will be displayed to the right side, and all the operator needs to do is click on the particular document that's of interest to them, and it will open and be displayed. Along the top, you will see the description of the event, the scheduled time for the event, the expected duration, and the current duration once this task has been started. If we look at a different task, clean the robot area, you'll notice there's no documentation assigned to this task, so the document region is hidden. It will automatically be displayed based upon the links that are created or not created. So it makes it very intuitive for the operator to know if they have documentation or SOPs. If you look at the downtime events region, it will list all of the unacknowledged downtime events, whether it was due to machine activity or a fault on the machine. And it works very similar to the development done so far. If I click on a downtime event, the screen will display 3 regions. It, first of all, will alert the user as to what type of event this is. This happens to be a machine idle time. Each type of event is color-coded so that operators, once they become familiar with the different coloring, they'll instantly know if it's a downtime event, if it's a machine fault event, and so on and so forth. We'll talk about that more because there are some other colors for different types of activities. In this region, you will have all the detailed information with respect to this particular downtime event, along with an employee sign-off region. There'll be a miscellaneous notes region, which is not mandatory, but can be useful if additional information is needed or wants to be provided with regard to this event. The right region are the reason codes that are specific to this particular downtime. They work similar to the past in that if you link specific reason codes to the type of downtime event, it will only display those. If there are no reason codes linked to the downtime event or the fault code, then it will display all of them. In this case, it's displaying all of the reason codes that have currently been defined in the system. And as you can see, it's a hierarchical listing. If I click on the fixture, it will do 2 things. One, it will expand and show you the subcategories for the fixture reason code, but it also hid all the others, just as the HMI screen also did. So I could expand and make a selection underneath that. It will become visually checked so the operator knows which one they picked. If I click on the top node, it will restore all of the reason codes, so it's very easy to navigate up and down. Again, consistent with the existing HMI screen. In order to acknowledge a downtime event, 2 pieces of information are required. We need to select a reason code, and we have to fill in the employee sign-off. And you will notice at the top there are 2 buttons, a return button which takes you back to the main screen, or the process button, which allows the operator to physically record this event. The process button remains disabled until all required information is provided. So as you can see, neither a reason code nor a sign-off has been entered, and that button remains disabled. If I were to select a reason code, such as material, you will notice it's still disabled because we have not provided the employee sign-off. To do that, simply click in the employee sign-off area and enter the employee ID. If an invalid employee ID is entered, the system will tell you that it's invalid. If a valid one is entered, it will tell the operator who it is, and the process button has become enabled. At this point in time, that's all the information that is required in order to process this downtime event. So at that point, we can simply click the process button and the screen will return back to the main area. Some additional features have been added in this version compared to the work done on the HMI at this point. That would be the scrap and the rework buttons. If I want to record a manual scrap transaction, I simply click on the scrap button. And the screen will look very similar to where we just came from on a downtime event, except it will display to the operator, again, in the visual colors. Scrap is going to be this shade of gray, whereas the downtime event for inactivity was yellow, and the downtime event due to a fault code will be red. Scrap entries are going to be slightly different in the information that is presented to the user. Notice that here we have 4 pieces of information required in the left-hand region. We need to provide an employee ID, we need to provide a part number, the quantity that are being recorded as scrapped, and which work center we are going to report the scrap back against. Additionally, a reason code will also be required. So we can simply check a reason code. We can enter a valid employee number, a part number, followed by the quantity that we want to report a scrap, and then the work center that we're going to report it against. And this is important because the work center that the scrap is being recorded to will have its OEE numbers reflected in terms of the quality metric. Once those 5 pieces of information are provided, the process button becomes enabled and the user can record this manual quality transaction. Rework transactions are very similar. Again, if we click on that, the screen will look identical to the manual quality transaction, the primary difference being the color, again, of the header, indicating that this is a rework part. Notice on this particular example, we have no reason codes currently defined for rework. So the operator will be unable to make a manual rework entry until the system administrator defines some reason codes. The process, however, is still the same as the manual quality in that the 5 pieces of information, the employee ID, the part number, the quantity, the work center, and a reason code are required in order to process the transaction. Now let's take a look at the main portion of the screen here, which is the AM calendar tasks. We showed a little bit earlier that you can click on the tasks and look at the events that are provided for each of these tasks. If we take a look at the robot tip change, you'll notice that it has a clock in front of it. As the legend indicates, that means this task is started. So if I were to click on that, you can see now the main difference from the last time we were in the screen is that the tasks that are available to the operator are now enabled, and I can come in and I can go through and indicate which tasks have been completed. You'll also notice that this task has a duration recorded against it. The expected duration is 5 minutes. However, so far, it's been active for 52 minutes. That's important because when you try to stop the task for a task that is over the standard duration as defined in the maintenance plan itself, the system is going to detect that and want some additional information. So if we click task stop, you will notice that the system sees that the duration is in excess, and it alerts the operator by flashing a message at the top right, basically indicating that the standard duration's been exceeded, pointing to the fact that it's at 52 minutes right now when it should have been 5 minutes. And the document and SOP section changes into a reason code area, meaning that the operator must now provide a reason code as to why this task went longer than the expected duration of it. You will not be able to report this task complete until a reason code is selected. So if we pick one, and these are just samples, obviously CNH will be able to control what exactly is displayed here. I will just select one, and I will now click the task stop button. And those tasks have now been marked as complete. It's been recorded into the system for historical purpose. And you'll notice we returned back to the main screen, and that task is no longer on the list. There are many more enhancements that are coming, but this is just a quick introduction into the look and the feel and the current functionality of the maintenance plan system for display on PCs and Windows tablets. Thank you.